In the heart of Alberta, or known by city folk as Stettler, is a man with a dream that involves a lot of grit, long nights, and beaver felt, where the fur is soft, the steam is hot, and the hospitality is next to none, is where you can find the man named Jace, owner of JWT Hats.
JWT Hats is bringing back authentic Western hat making to its roots. With all of his years on the rodeo circuit and on the range, Jace is a steward of the Western way. He understands the needs and wants of any cowboy and the job his or her hat has to endure.
Using the finest materials, Jace can craft a hat to meet any cowboy or cowgirl's liking, including any shape, size, or color. Each hat is custom made to cater any person's noggin, big or small. And don't think you're too far away from his little shop. JWT Custom Hats will ship anywhere in North America. His hat can be found far and wide, including his Instagram and TikTok.
So come on down to Stettler or give Jace a ring at 403-740-3574. Remember, folks, if you look good, you feel good. Sorry, Mason. We're just doing some social media here.
Okay.
If people don't know already, to start off this podcast or this podcast episode today, we do have social media.
Also, guys, we have like a new high score. We currently have done 3 banters in a row where Devin forgot to press record before we started.
No, we have a new low score. Oh, like
new high score. This is 3 in a row, Devin. We're struggling here. Guys. Anyways,
I'm struggling.
Welcome to the Hicks from the Sticks podcast. Welcome. We're here in the bunkhouse.
Smoky Sunday.
Yeah, we're here in beautiful Olds, Alberta, where the weather is really good, other than the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little smoky out there, Dev. So if you weren't a smoker yesterday, if you go outside, you're a smoker today.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. Yeah.
No, but
what can you do?
Yeah. Well, first of all, our thoughts and prayers out to everyone that's been affected by the wildfires up in the northern part of the province. We hope that we hope that the fires can be suppressed sooner than later, and you can get back to your home safely, and hopefully the homes are all in one piece.
Yeah, hopefully they're still there. Yeah.
Yeah, because
well, it's brutal, man. Like even yesterday, before I left for Brooks, I was just like loading my truck up and was about to leave, and there's even ash falling from the sky, man. Like,
really?
Yeah, like it was like, damn, are we in Pompeii right now?
Oh boy.
Where the volcano at?
Oh boy. Yeah, I know, but hopefully these fires can be done soon.
Yeah, we need some rain. Well, if you had
rain's in the forecast.
Well,
tomorrow.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh shit! I better mow my lawn tonight then.
Well, tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow's Brandon Day because we're recording this on the 21st of May.
It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow.
No, it's supposed to isolate showers.
Okay.
And only like 5 mils.
Okay, so we should be all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might get a little wet.
I was gonna say we might get a little messy,
but it'll still be fun though.
Yeah, should be all right.
Which again, shout out Tall Timber Cattle Co. because that's what we'll be at tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If you want any beef, go check out their website. We do not have a promo code yet. Maybe we probably never will, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You're hearing this, Izzy.
Yeah. Well, you've been working like a dog lately. Have you had to go out a lot for work, or are they saying like, all right, maybe just stay inside, Dev?
You're supposed to be wearing an N95 if you can, like an N95 mask.
Is that like the asbestos one?
I don't know. It's like the white one. It's a bit better than like the blue medical mask we were supposed to wear during COVID.
Is that the one that like surgeons wear?
No, it just keeps like the large particles out.
Okay.
I don't know. I've been like yesterday I was working and I should have went out and checked some fields. I did check a few or 1 or 2 in the end, just a couple close to the office, but I stayed at the office because it was just so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was doing like small jobs out in the yard and I was like huffing and puffing, half because I'm so fat now, but the other half because of smoke. So
well, and even yesterday, man, like down in Brooks, it was super smoky, and it was like to the point where like it was the weather was so nice where it's like a guy just wants to sit on a patio and have a couple beers outside, but just no no bueno.
Not today, folks.
Yeah, no,
not
thank
today.
you. No, thank you, sir. But yeah, I guess this is a big moment for the podcast for everybody that didn't know.
What's that?
Well, when we'll talk, we'll talk about it here.
Right now?
Yeah, right
Oh,
now.
we're talking about the
Yeah.
fact how if you listen to episode 100, if you haven't listened to episode 100, we talked about how advice for starting a podcast, because we've been asked
Yeah.
a few times, and whenever we gave her a piece, but then Mason's word of advice was find someone that can do all the work for you,
Yeah.
and you're just there to speak on a
Well, I'm
microphone.
the CEO and founder, and you do everything else.
However, Mason went down to Brooks to the CCRA finals.
Yeah, unsupervised, folks. Unsupervised. I didn't have
Clearly
any.
was trained the night or two before on how everything works.
There was no parental supervision.
But before we get into that, though, and get a quick recap from Mason here about what happened, we have another shout out.
Huge shout out
To Aubrey.
Shout out to Aubrey. I'm gonna get your last name.
Your
or
new,
actually, maybe not.
your
Maybe
future
not.
is he technically a cousin-in-law?
So he's dating my cousin right now.
So is he a cousin-in-law then, technically?
I don't know. Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Because
Or is he just another cousin?
They're not engaged. He just cuz.
I thought they are
What's
engaged.
up, cuz? Oh shit! Yeah, they are. No. I don't think they are.
Or does she not know about that?
I mean,
is she going to?
I don't think they're engaged.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll just move on here. But anyways, thank you, Aubrey. Huge shout out. Our soundboard was giving us kind of shit.
Oh man,
earlier
it was
this week.
Just shit in the bed.
And fortunately, they were nice enough to
Yeah,
let us borrow their mixer.
So shout out to Aubrey and his co-host, his brother at Brothers Radio.
Yep. Yeah, but no, I went down to Brooks this weekend by myself to do a couple interviews. Well, it turned out to only be one interview down at the college rodeo finals. Interviewed Hale Looters and Cade McDonald.
Okay.
Really good interview, actually. Those guys were fun to chat with. And yeah, it was pretty sweet. It's funny, they were supposed to be two separate interviews, but I guess they're really good buddies, so they just showed up at the same time, and it worked out better that way, to be honest.
It's a good interview.
I liked it way better. Yeah.
So stay tuned for that in 2-ish weeks,
2-3 weeks, something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But kind of funny because like when we did it where Jace had his booth set up, right, and so Jay strolls in shortly after I get there, right, and he's he's wearing jeans and very nice floral like Hawaiian shirt sort of deal. And it was cinch or something like that. And we're setting up, we're getting everything ready, waiting for guys to show up. And both Hale and Cade walk in wearing the exact same shirt.
Really?
Exact same shirt. Yeah, like must have got it from the same place or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I made sure to grab a picture of it, so you guys will
see it soon.
Yeah, we'll post it on the Instagram when we release that episode of them all matching. But it was pretty funny. But
how was Brooks?
Brooks was good. It actually didn't smell too bad because I think the smoke was masking everything.
Okay.
So from that aspect, it was good. But no, it was Brooks in itself. It was pretty good, to be honest. Didn't really watch too much of the rodeo because I was just kind of hanging out with Jace the whole time in his booth. But yeah,
how's it? Everyone knows a rodeo is a good time.
Oh,
however, what we care about the Hicks from the Sticks podcast is the cabaret.
The cabaret, yeah, the cabaret is pretty good, and I guess I'll get into that in a second here. But it was kind of funny because like I don't know if you said this already, Devin, but yeah, you were nervous as shit like leading up to this because Devin, he's always got the reins on this kind of stuff. So he was calling me before the interview, making sure. He's like, "Oh, does it work?" Blah 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 blah. And then after, like, while the interview was still going on, he's like blowing up my phone, being like, How'd it go, dude? Right? Like,
just leave it alone.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, I got this. Get off my back. And so then I called him afterwards, and we were supposed to have that as two separate interviews. And I remember you were like, yeah, maybe you should try scheduling another one. Yeah, no, that never happened.
You start drinking?
Well, yeah, I went to BP's after that with Jace.
Yeah.
Got a chicken sandwich, and that was my first meal of the day. I was starving.
Yeah.
So, but I was thirsty as well. So we just started crushing beers, and the rest is history, I guess. But
so we talked about all that. Cabaret, though.
Yeah.
Was there like a performance? Like what style cabaret were
So
we
they
at?
had a DJ there.
Okay.
Okay, so they had like a little bit of a dancing area and then some tables and the bars were in the back there.
Mhm.
I do have a bit of a gripe with it though.
What's
I'm bringing out the gripe word.
okay?
Okay, so it was dark as shit in there, man.
You couldn't see anything.
Turn a couple lights on, I couldn't see shit.
Oh.
And you know what? Maybe they're doing that on purpose so that old fuckers like me aren't going there and just college kids are there because I
Mhm.
feel like they were not adhering to my elderly disability of my vision.
Oh boy.
I couldn't see shit in there, man. It was so dark. I didn't know who I was talking to. I couldn't tell you if the girl I was looking at was cute or ugly. It was tough, man. So, but I mean, it was still pretty good. But probably the coolest thing in the night was there was this little kid, and he was actually hanging out in Jace's booth for a while during the rodeo. But
Yeah.
what he was doing is he was walking around, and he had this little cardboard sign, and he turned it into a necklace. So he had this cardboard sign, and it said, "I'll do a backflip for $5 on it."
Yeah.
And so when we saw that right away, I was like, "Hey, I don't have." And this kid's like 13 years old, right?
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I don't got $5, but I got a beer. Like, you want this beer?" And he was like, "No, I don't want that."
Is that illegal? Were his parents
Anyways,
around?
I have zero clue where his parents were, which is actually kind of concerning. But anyways, Hannah, our friend Hannah, she gives him a $5, and yeah, this kid just like I can show you the video after, Dev. Like, just
We'll post
it
our
does
story
the
tonight.
most effortless backflip I've ever seen. And then right after he's done that, another person comes up, he's like, "Holy shit, you're doing backflips," and give him another $5. And then after that, this one older guy came up, and he had a 20 for him.
Mhm.
And the kid was like, "Oh yeah, no, let me do something different here." So what he did was he went up to the top of one of the panels that surround the
Yeah.
what do you call that?
The arena.
The arena, yeah. And he did like a spinning backflip off
Like
of
a
there into the
corkscrew type of
sand.
thing?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It was like, holy shit. I guarantee you that kid probably made at least a couple $100 just from doing backflips that night.
Damn.
Yeah. Low key kind of want to snitch to the IRS, be like, "Hey, this kid's making too much money.
Well, you could
Tax
just,
that kid."
no, but then he'll come back at you, take this, and be like, "This kid offered me a beer."
Yeah, well,
I'm 13 years old.
I didn't actually give it to him.
You
So.
still offered it.
Anyways, but yeah, that was pretty wild.
It was pretty wild, pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it was pretty
A lot
good.
more wild than my night was, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I slept for the first time in 8 hours, first time in like 3 weeks.
So you're all rested now?
Well, I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel like $1 million bucks. You think you could run a marathon right now?
No,
No.
not because I'm not tired, because I'm fat. That's
Yeah,
why I
that's
wouldn't be able to
fair.
run a marathon.
That's
I'd
fair.
walk it. Kind of.
Okay. How long do you think it would take for you to walk a marathon?
Depends how many bars I stop at in between.
Bars?
Yeah,
I mean,
for like a beer.
how many bars would be like? Are you just doing blocks around Bulldog Saloon? Like, are you just going around the block like
and then you
100
get another
times?
beer. What if you? Oh, could you imagine that if you did a marathon, but for every mile you had to chug a beer?
I don't think you would finish that marathon. Or it would take you a really long time.
Yeah,
Because marathon's what, like 40?
48 kilometers, 24 mile.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah,
Actually, if it's only 24 mile, actually, that's probably doable.
you did by the miles. You did by the
Yeah, kilometers, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better luck next time.
But good weekend though.
Yeah, it was good overall, and yeah, nothing burned down. I managed to save the recording, so all in all, Dev, I would give myself A- this weekend.
And from now on,
And actually, really funny as well. Like, I didn't prepare for these interviews like at all. So, I even told the guys like in the interview, I was like, "Yeah, no, I didn't prepare any questions for this. I just went right off the dome. It actually turned out pretty good.
Okay.
It was a completely improv."
Well, I guess this will be my last podcast episode, folks.
Yeah, Jace was saying he wanted to replace you. I was like, "Jace, like, you're a terrible co-host." Like, no.
But actually, though, stay tuned though, because I think we have one trip written down with Jace yet for live podcasts.
Yeah, one or two.
Possibly a second one. Plus, maybe we'll do them more in the future. Maybe, I don't know.
We'll see.
Stay tuned to the socials. We should promote a bit more that you're in Brooks, but also you're handing out free stickers. At least I thought you brought them, right?
See, I brought them, but I forgot them at the hotel.
So there are stickers usually. Fucking guy.
We got there to the rodeo and Hannah was like, "Oh, Mason, you got the stickers?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck." Nope.
So we do have free stickers.
Yeah.
Just come ask us for one. Anyways.
My bad. Anyways, moving on here. Should we do the Western word of the week?
Yes.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Shall. Everyone's favorite segment. And that was the Ron file.
Yeah, that was.
All right, here's right one.
Okay.
Damn, I've been so dysfunctional the past couple weeks with this podcast and stuff.
Well, now you're caught up on sleep, so I don't know why you're still having these same issues.
I don't know, man.
You can't use sleep deprivation as your excuse anymore.
Oh, I can't. It sucks.
Okay, Western word.
Mm-hmm.
Slick.
Slick.
What do you think slick meant in the Wild West?
Someone did something cool.
No. Not even remotely close to that.
When it's wet? Slippery?
No, I mean, that's a good guess, but no.
All right.
So it is a name for an unbranded animal, particularly a horse.
Oh.
So, I mean, I would say all Mustangs.
I mean, it makes
slicks.
sense, though, because their coat is slick. They don't have an indent on it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah,
that does
works.
make sense.
Yep. So there you go, folks. Your Western word of the week. We haven't shouted out who our guest is today on the Hicks from the Six podcast. Today we got a big one, folks. We got Cowboi Cole on.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Robertson. We had him on to talk about everything he's got going on, and really fun interview. We'll have to meet him in person on one of the rodeos this summer.
Yeah, he's on the circuit.
He's on the circuit, folks.
So let's hop into it.
Yeah, let's hop in there.
All right, go on, Mason.
All right, we're rolling. Hello, folks. Welcome to another interview on the Hicks from the Sticks podcast. Today we got very special guest. We got on the guy who is the biggest fan of rodeo moms, Cowboi Cole. How are you doing today, Cole?
Well, I am doing pretty friggin' good. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a good day.
Well, the sun's shining. It's t-shirt weather now, so there's not a lot to be mad about right now, eh?
There really isn't, and it's not even that muddy, to be honest. We had a pretty good rush of the snow melt and everything a couple weeks ago, but it's just been classic Southern Alberta windy here the last 2 weeks, so it's not even muddy. There's literally nothing to complain about.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. What do you figure? Do you think we're gonna get another snowfall here, or do you think we're done?
Honestly, it's so hit and miss. Could literally do it the morning and then be 25 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So I just try not to dictate Alberta weather. I don't even look at the weather 90% of the time. I look out the window, and the Forerunner has, a slicker. It's got a winter coat. It's got a springtime coat. I'm kind of, at this time of year, I'm basically just like an absolute avenger when it comes to the climates. I'm ready for anything.
You're prepared for any natural disaster that could happen.
Dude, okay, one summer when I was amateur rodeo, I was 17, and we would go to Caroline. That was the first FCA rodeo of the year. Caroline. It was over May long weekend, and we kind of always drew up on the Friday slack because we had to be in Strathmore for the high school rodeo the Saturday, Sunday. So we go to Caroline on Friday, and it's like a 10 a.m. slack or something like that. It rained, snowed, hailed, and was 20 Celsius, all within a slack.
Oh boy, yeah, that's Alberta weather, man. You gotta love it, also gotta hate it. Probably hate it more than you love it, but whatever. It's the best province out there, best place to be, so can't complain too much. But I guess before we get too far in here, do you kind of want to introduce yourself and kind of where you're from?
I can do that for sure. So my real name is Cole Robertson. I was about to say Cowboi Cole. But I have formed into kind of Cowboi Cole with the online persona. And I grew up west of Okotoks, which is where I am right now. So I do claim Okotoks as my hometown. That's where I went to school. That's where I graduated and everything. But we're kind of close to the Big Rock. I don't know if you guys probably know where that is. But close to the Big Rock.
Is that the place with the Big Rock? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the big rock that got dropped off by the glacier type thing?
Yeah. I think that's what it is,
Yeah,
isn't it?
hell yeah, dude.
So you're not quite out by Black Diamond, eh? You're not that far west?
No, I'm about 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, right on. So that's where you guys have the farm out there then? You have family farm?
Yeah, we're down to 80 acres. Family way back in the day. My grandma's got a bunch of brothers and whatnot, so they owned a ton along this Highway 7. And then just throughout the years and throughout family decisions, we're down to the 80 acres, but it's still, enough that we can get all of our own hay off of. We run a few cows over the summer and the fall and the winter to just knock the grass down and shit like that, right? So, try to keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. What's your favorite memory from being on the family ranch?
I would say, honestly, probably when I was younger, we didn't have a square bale picker. We literally just had the old 5-speed 98 Dodge that my sister took down to college in Oklahoma, and a flat trailer, and we would do it by hand, and it was crazy, like to look back and think on it. Like there were times where you would see them rain clouds coming, and you're like, holy fucking shit, we have a whole entire field left to get picked, and we're doing it by hand. And so there's a lot of times where you just throw it in burst and let that truck just coast along the field, and everybody's tossing bales up there, and a couple people stacking them, and jump in, turn the rig, head back up the other way. I mean, I kind of miss those days. You know what I mean? Kept me in shape. I've always been a smaller guy. Kept me in shape.
Yeah,
Well,
either that or that's why your back's so messed up now. I don't know if you have back problems or not, but that could be a cause. So what it sounds like is you guys had like GPS steering before it was a real thing.
Yeah, the OG GPS steering right there, boys. Just the field, you know what I mean? The field drove the truck. The molehills bouncing back.
All right, on. Awesome. Awesome. So Devin, where are we going with this?
Well, I was thinking, so you talked about before, where we can get into this part. Where did you get the nickname Cowboy Cole?
I kind of just used it to differentiate myself, I guess, when I started the journey of doing stand-up comedy, and then kind of trying to build an online presence to help me leverage that to kind of get where I'm heading. And I thought it was catchy. I thought it was quick and just easy to roll off. Cool. You're saying it's fun. It turns heads. And I tried to get Cowboy Cole spelt with the Y, but that was taken quite a few different ways. So I thought, you know what? It's 2020. I guess I was 2020 when I got that going. I'm like, we're new age. I'll do Cowboy Cole.
Yeah.
Well, why not Cowboy Cole with a Y, but Cowboy Cole, did you try Cowboy Cole 69 or Cowboy Cole 420?
I don't know if that's as professional.
Would have been awesome though. I always try and price my stuff. I want to build a little rodeo package, and it will be priced $69.69 because I think that's freaking hilarious.
So you do a lot of stand-up then?
I'm trying to do a lot more. I gotta kind of work it around the schedule and whatnot. And then any of the shows I do, from where I live to get downtown and get in there, it's almost an hour. So I gotta kind of I try and plan it in a couple weeks. So I just got done working on the show Wind River, and it was 4-ish, 5-ish weeks that I was doing that. And we were out in Canmore. So now that that's wrapped up and done, I'm going to start throwing in some stand-up around the rodeo schedule, which works really good because I can hop on some mics from Monday to Thursday, and then we can leave on a Thursday or be gone Friday or whatever that looks like.
Is there a couple comedy clubs in downtown where you can just drop in and do your bit or whatever? Or how does that work?
Yeah, so a lot of solo produced shows and whatnot, and they just call them open mics and everything like that. It's probably 7 to 9 different shows you could hop on throughout the week, which is nice. Monday to Saturday basically, and then Yuck Yucks and the Laugh Shop on Blackfoot, they're starting to do more amateur nights and stuff like that. But it's you just reach out to the producers, give them some details. Luckily I've got a good rapport with a few now that I can kind of just hit up and say, hey, can I come do in a week or something like that. Some shows you email in and then you don't get stage time for like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks sometimes. So it's nice that I can kind of hit a couple people and get in and get on right away.
Yeah.
Well, so my question is though, like, do you take like the Western approach to the stage, like your bits or whatever? Or are you trying to cater more to what the crowd's looking for? Like, are you talking about how your hands deep in a cow, trying to grab that calf, and then your sister's doing something dumb over here or something like that, or are you just like telling some city jokes?
It's kind of, I view it as a good time to educate as well. So I try and mix in as much. I try and countrify everything. You know what I mean? And then I can play off of something. Like if they don't understand what the hell I'm talking about, I can play off that, right? And kind of work it over the crowd a little bit, mansplain it a little bit, and then move on. But I always, I go up there dressed literally as a team roper. I wear my spurs up there. I got my freaking glove and my belt. Like I go up there as a cowboy. And you can hit them with some of their most random shit and it'll kill. Like the one opener that I've used for a while and I kind of pull out is like my go-to. I walk up there, I'm like, well, goddamn, I bet you didn't expect to see toys to get up here tonight. And it's just murder. So I kind of lean into it both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you think if you were to like do a performance at like a rodeo event, whether it's like before the cabaret starts or whatever, do you think that you'd have a little bit more stuff to work with and you wouldn't have to mansplain so much and you could you'd get a little bit more kick out of the crowd, or do you like like appealing to the
I feel like I could
city
just
people?
tell some stories.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy. I would love to get the opportunity to do some more stand up in front of the rodeo Western type crowd, because I feel like I could just go tell some stories. You know what I'm saying? Like just stories from rodeo and stories from riding colt, stories from just growing up the way that we grow up. You know what I mean? But then you go downtown and you try to talk to people about farming and raking and pushing cows around and stuff like that, and it is literally a blur to them. Like the only thing they've ever heard it in their life is some geese out of their fucking path trying to ride their stupid scooter. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's
One phrase that me and my brothers used to say to each other when we were referring to like city kids was we'd say, "Oh, you haven't even seen dirt." Right? That was always our thing, right? So.
Yeah. Seriously though, yeah, it's all just freaking mulching their flower beds up front.
Yeah.
But it's fun though too that way, because like I'll go walking downtown and it's happened before where I'm walking to the club or the venue, the bar, wherever they're having the open mic, and I'll get like yelled at from the other side of the street. People will be like, "Stampede's not till July," and like shit like that. And I'm like, "Fuck you guys! This is the original Cowtown, you sons of bitches."
Yeah. I know it's kind of funny how Calgary's known as like the cowboy city or whatever, but that's not really the case, I would say.
Not as much as it used to be, for sure, man. It's changed a lot down there. Like, I got a little bit of age on you boys, not a lot, a little bit. I'm only 29, and even in like the last freaking 8 years, I feel like it's changed so much downtown. It's pretty weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, now you go to Stampede, and me and Mason like to play this game that we can see how many pairs of white boots that we can spot within a certain time frame, especially if we're bored at like the bar or something. And I think last time we were there, we almost saw like 20 pairs within 10 minutes. So.
I feel like that's probably always been the case for Stampede, though.
You think so?
I don't know.
Do you think white boots have always been a Stampede staple?
I feel like the white boots have made a huge flux with the amount of white women that they allow out and consuming alcohol.
Yeah, nothing goes better together than white girls, white boots, and liquor.
Like freaking a bandana for a top.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining though, because it's kind of nice to look at.
Hey, you know what, the one wrong wind gust is another man's, great day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's just it. Yeah. Yeah, you can't go around wearing that kind of stuff in Lethbridge, or else you'll be giving everybody a show.
holy frick, man! Good old Lethbridge.
You got any good stories from that town?
Oh man, one story that I was just thinking of today actually was when I went to the PBR with Brinson James last September, and we went out to Hogs, as you do after the rodeo, after the PBR there. And for some reason, instead of just taking a cab from our hotel, fucking drove and parked along the road there just up the street from Boss Hogs. And we go inside, we have a great time. And being responsible, neither of us drove. We called a ride back to the hotel with these people. And next morning, I looked at the maps and I'm like, yeah, that's not that bad. I'll walk it. So I start walking. I get a coffee from McDonald's, having just a nice stroll. I'm on the phone with my sister. And I'm walking along, and I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I see it. I call my forerunner, Duke Silver. So I'm like, yeah, no, I see Duke. So I'm going to get him fired up and go pick Brinson up. She was like, okay. And so I hang up the phone, and I'm walking, and I'm like, man, why does it look like I can see through my back window? My back windows are tinted. Why can I see there? So I get up there, and motherfucking somebody threw a brick through my back window, dude, and just ransacked my whole vehicle, cleaned it right out. A whole bunch of shit, and there's like a huge gash on the front panel because it looks like they threw the brick and it like hit the front panel, so they picked it up, threw it through the back window. So that's my good story from Lethbridge.
Yeah, that's Lethbridge for you. It's definitely not the greatest place. It's a little better now since they finally shut down the safe injection site.
No. I literally lived there 4 months ago. I lasted 8 months, and I was like, this place is a shithole. I'm not coming back. Sorry, Lethbridge, but it's fine.
I don't blame you.
Now I'm back in Olds.
Yeah. So, and now I'm back in Olds.
Yeah, back where you belong.
Yeah, it's my real hometown. No, but so we want to let's get into the rodeo and stuff like that though, because that's where, even before the social media, that's where it all got started for you. Before that, how did you get started into rodeoing? Was that just you popped out and you're on a horse type of thing, or was that something that you were kind of, what's the word, inherited from the family? How did all that work?
Yeah, definitely. When my mom spit me out, I immediately just was tying from the post, just trying to get in shape and ready to go. But no, on a serious note, I was born into a rodeo family. My dad rode bareback horses. My mom used to run barrels back in the day. My sister was a goat tire breakaway roper. All my cousins were steer wrestlers. So I was at first, Dad was grooming me to be a bareback rider. I'm the perfect size. I'm 5'8.5", 5'9" on a good day. And so I grew up riding a spur board, but all my friends roped, all my cousins steer wrestled, but they're all 6 foot, 200 pounds, and I'm 5'8", $140, soaking wet. So my bull riding career was very short.
Yeah.
And just started. I rode steers from grade 9 or from age 9 to 11, but I wasn't very committed. I did not like getting on in the chute. Just was not a huge fan of that. So I stuck to the town event end and started roping when I was 12, and just basically had to give up everything else in my life to pursue roping.
Yeah,
fair. I mean, I would think if I were to ever rodeo, because we both don't, but if I were to ever rodeo, I would do the time event. Probably.
No, you'd be a steer wrestler.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, you're 6'5", 240. You're a steer wrestler.
Yeah. I don't think I have a choice if I were to do it.
No, not at all.
What would you be, though, Mason? What would you think this guy would be if he was rodeoing?
Wild cow milking.
You think so?
That's my bread and butter.
I could see Mason looks like he could be a two-event cowboy. He looks like he'd maybe rope some calves and maybe do some heading.
Ah, there you go.
The only problem is I can't rope or shit, so we're kind of hooped there.
Yeah, you kind of throw it like a baseball whenever you try.
Yeah, I need to practice a little bit.
Yeah. So, I guess the better question is: are you a header or a healer? Or you do both?
I specialize in the healing side.
Specialize in the healing side. It's a good slogan. You should put that on a T-shirt.
It's not a bad idea.
I don't know. Did you ever? So you start off, and then did you ever do like college rodeo and high school rodeo and stuff like that, or no?
Yeah, 100%. So I got started in the Wrangler Junior Rodeos in grade 6, and I got to be a part of. Actually, I was a part of the association the first year that it launched in Alberta, so that was fun. I got to go down to the Wrangler Junior High finals a couple times. Went to the high school rodeos, made the high school finals one time with Clint Weston. Went down to Gillette, Wyoming, and that same summer, I made the FCA finals at 16. That was pretty sweet in the team roping, and then got picked up and went and college rodeoed in Hobbs, Mexico for 2 years. Rodeoed at a junior college there, and then the head coach that I rodeoed for there got the job at Texas Tech University, so I followed him over there for a year and a half.
Oh shit! So you've been all over the place. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Did you say you're in Mexico for a bit?
New man.
Or New Mexico?
New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
That's probably a little safer than Mexico, eh?
Yeah, touch, I would say.
I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on
Wait, so
what
then
side
you
of
went
you were on,
to-
is whether or not you were safe as a gringo.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. So, like, you said you were in Texas for a bit then as well. Was that was that still when you were in high school then, or was that
No.
college?
College, Texas Tech.
Okay, Texas Tech. So, what was that experience like?
It was for a small town kid from the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. It was insane, absolutely insanity. The university itself was bigger than I've ever seen. There were full-time buses running all the time, and you have to make sure you get on the right bus to get to the right college building, or you will end up on the other side of campus and be walking like 2 miles to get to the building you need to get to. So it was a huge eye opener coming from a junior college where I was like so well taken care of by like the rodeo team staff. I was so well taken care of by the teachers. If we wanted to leave on a Wednesday so we could make a jackpot at Stephenville for Thursday, Friday, college rodeo Saturday, they'd be like, yeah, no problem. You can do your exam next week when you get back. Just let me know when you're back in town and we'll schedule you. And then I get to Texas Tech and they're like, put me in math class in a cathedral where there's like 350 kids, and you are literally just a number on their page that day. It was crazy. It was a huge eye opener.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get into the important stuff though. How's the party scene at a large university like that?
Unbelievable. I actually sat beside Matt, I sat beside this group of fraternity guys, and they would talk about all the crazy shit and the parties that they were throwing on the weekends. And this chapter actually got shut down because they threw a party one weekend, and there were actually some rape charges that were handed out to some of the boys in that house because 4 girls claimed to have been taken advantage. And then there was a huge sprinkler in the back, but they built this thing that looked like a vagina and put it over it, so it looked like this vagina was squirting, and there's a sign that says no means yes, yes means anal. And so this chapter got axed, dude.
That's such a tough look.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Like that's some shit they write in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah, exactly.
that kind of shit was happening every weekend. Hopefully not the rape. That's not good. But yeah, they would tell some pretty gnarly stories.
Yeah, so while you're down there, I'm assuming you probably weren't 21 yet, eh? Was it pretty easy to get access to beer?
I would say so, yeah, because you were always hanging. There was always somebody that was 21. That was the nice part about being in college was, somebody on the rodeo team or like somebody you went just in class with or somebody that just hung around. Somebody was always able to purchase beer, which was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that is nice. Super cheap down there too.
What's your craziest college party story? Well, that's like that won't put you in like that won't put you in jail basically.
I told this one story on a Cowboy Share podcast about when we I don't think he got mad when I dropped his name, but he gave me shit at the medicine at Stampede last summer. I won't say his name, I'll just say his event. But we lost our buddy, the track rider. He got arrested at a Hooters, and then we continued to party without him. We just went out after in his van, and when we got to the bar, we went inside. We had a great time. We leave the bar. The van's not there because we parked in a no parking zone, and it got towed. So then we had to go back into the bar and find these two girls that my other buddies were kind of hitting it off with and ask them for a ride. And we had to drive to like 3 different impound lots until we found the lot with the van, which we then couldn't get out of the lot because none of our IDs said this guy's name. So we had to pay like almost 400 cash to this fucking impound lot security guard to give us the van. Drive back to Hobbs because it was in Lubbock. We were still going to school in Hobbs, so it's like hour and a half, 2 hour drive back, hour difference in the time zones. And we had like information from the police when they arrested our friend. So we get up, and my other roommate's on the website looking up like Lubbock County Jail or whatever, and it said our friend was released 6:50 in the morning. It's 9 o'clock Hobbs time. So we race back to Lubbock, go to the jail. He's not there. Nobody around there knows where he went. The jail's like out of town a little bit and like on the bad side of Lubbock. So we are worried. We go the day, we can't find him. We have like different trucks going to the school, coming back from the school, like alternating shifts searching for this guy. Nothing. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're debating like, hey, when do we call coach? When do we call the police? When do we call his parents? Like, this is now not good. And like 7 o'clock, he banged on the door, and he had enough. This lady cop gave him a coat because it was February in West Texas, so like it's cold. The wind's blowing, it's not nice. And he was standing out there just shivering in a t-shirt outside the jail cell. So she gives him her coat, enough change to get a coffee and a bus ticket, and he rode the bus from Lubbock all the way back to Hobbs with 4 stops. So it took all friggin' day for him to get back to the school.
So I'm sure he was pretty thrilled with you guys, when he saw you.
I mean, at the beginning of the story, we go to Hooters we're gonna eat and just have a few pre-gamers, but he's going out to his van and just pulling on a bottle of Crown Royal, like just this Hooters, and he passed out in the fucking shitters of this Hooters. So the manager came over and was just like, "You got to get your friend out of the bathroom, or in 5 minutes or less, or I got to call the cops." And so we like tried to get him awake. And then as he opened up the door to the stall, the cop walked in, cuffed him, and they were like, "You can either go to the hospital or you can go to jail." And he was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm not going in the hospital." And they're like, "Okay," in the jail car. In the car.
All right, this way, sir.
Did you guys ever tell him about the van and how it got impounded, or is that a big secret?
Well, I'm sure he knows now.
Well, he knows now probably, but like,
he knows now.
but like originally, did you guys tell him about the van or no?
Yeah, no, he knew. Yeah, we just told him because it kind of all just sat down after he was done yelling at us. All talked about how the hell the day went.
Yeah. So, one thing that I've been told is the biggest difference between the rodeos in Canada versus the rodeo in the States are the hospitality tents. Other than the hospitality tents, do you think, is there really that much difference? And are hospitality tents just the absolute best?
After going around to a bunch of the PRCA rodeos with Roy last winter, those committees down there, they really do take care of the cowboys that are they're put on the miles to go to those rodeos. Even if it's something as small as, you would go these and then say, yeah, hospitality tents over there. There's a buffet. There's drinks, like waters, pops, anything you need. Like there was always some sort of like little shack, a tent set up, something, and it would have a full spread of food. It would have flat water. It would have flats of Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper. Some of them would have free beer. Some of them wouldn't. A lot of them did. I mean, beer is so cheap down there, right? But yeah, I would say the committees, they do a really good job down there just taking care of cowboys. And yes, those tents are freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was, if you can remember, what was like the best meal or something like that you got from one of those tents, and from what rodeo?
We got what the hell were they? Enchiladas at Cave Creek last year. Enchiladas at Cave Creek, and it was freaking delicious. You could tell they were homemade, man. I'm pretty sure they had some old mamacita that's freaking in the back just a cooking away.
Hell yeah,
That sounds deadly. That'd be awesome.
That's sick.
They gotta do more of those.
Like, why don't they do that up here in Canada? Do you know?
Some do. Like I haven't been up to this one yet, but what the hell is it called? It's way up north. It's on the North Run. It might come to me as I'm talking about it, but it's there in big Mennonite area, and everybody just praises on this rodeo committee. They drive a water truck around, water all your horses, fill up your water in your trailer. They have a sewer truck come down, suck out all your units. They don't have anybody come around and suck on your unit, just suck out your unit, and then they set up horse pens.
They're this close to greatness.
I'm notorious for taking it too far and crossing the line, and that's just part of my style, boys.
No, you don't have to apologize for that.
That's why in Apple Podcasts you always put this like the little E beside it, just as a warning for people. You never know how far you're gonna go, but hey, you were warned before you clicked on it. So
that's right.
So, actually, let's play, like, since we're talking about a random little small town up north, and we were talking about Lethbridge earlier. So we were thinking about playing this little game here, where I'm assuming you've been to a lot of towns in Alberta, eh? You've been around a bit? Yeah? Awesome. See. Is that the New Mexico coming out there?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. Getting some flashbacks here.
Your sombrero wearing days.
Poncho.
On my burro.
So we're gonna say the town, and then say if you've been to it, and then describe it in one word. So we got a list of towns here.
Okay.
So start off with the first town of being Hannah, Alberta.
Yes, I've been. Nickelback Hockey Arena.
Yeah, there you go. That's the correct answer.
All right. So we didn't know that this was your hometown, but Okotoks.
Yes, I've been. I'll say the Big Rock.
The Big Rock. Perfect.
All right. Grand Prairie.
I've only ever driven past it, and it was actually this past weekend. So
Okay.
I'm going to say Grand Prairie, yes. The Ring Road.
The Ring Road.
Coke.
And strippers. All right. Tabor.
Yes, I have been there, and we actually go there Saturday morning up on the slack there. Tabor, I'm going to say corn.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Last one. Vermilion.
No, I have not been to Vermilion. But if I had to guess what it was like, I would say probably Rodeo.
Is what? Sorry.
I said chlamydia because of the college.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel the same way. I feel like that's probably what it is. Yeah.
That and olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets around.
Never mind.
All right, moving on. Okay, so what's the you've clearly been to a lot of rodeos. What is your absolute favorite one you've ever been to?
I'll do it kind of on a scale. For the amateur rodeos, I'd say the favorite one I've ever been to was always the Cochrane FCA rodeo. It was on September long weekend. And everybody, they have it at that downtown arena. And so you like drop down this huge ass hill. Downtown's on the top side. So everybody they used to sit on the grass they built bleachers into the hillside now, but back in the day, it used to just be a whole grassy, big ass hillside. And everybody would sit up there. We would always juggle it with a high school rodeo. So we always got the Monday perf, which was wicked, man, because the whole town come out. It was always hot, and it was the last one of the year. And if you had to do good, it was a good paying rodeo to do well at. And if you were there with the finals made, you were just trying to make some extra money, enjoy the day with everybody. So Cochrane was definitely my favorite amateur rodeo. My favorite pro rodeo in Canada that I've been to, I haven't got to rope a Pinocchio yet, hopefully this year. But I would probably say Hand Hills, just because I got a ton of family out there, and it's such an old school arena. It's got them old school cowboy vibes out there. It's just out in that pasture, so I really like Hand Hills. And then I actually got to go to Tucson last winter with Denver, and that's been on a bucket list for a long time. And so that was a really cool one to go to and finally get to see that set up and see the boys run some around there.
That's sweet. Tucson. Every time I see Tucson, I think you pronounce it Tuscan, and then I remember it's Tucson. But yeah, how long was the drive for that one?
To get to Maricopa, which is just a couple hours north of Tucson, it's like 24-ish hours, 22-ish hours. Not too shabby, you know?
Yeah. It's one all-nighter. It's not bad.
Yeah, just a couple podcasts and you're there.
Yeah, a couple Rogan podcasts, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
So obviously the rodeos are good, and like we've talked to a bunch of people that rodeo, and we noticed that the trend is that when people go to rodeo, they mean business. However, sometimes you gotta let loose. So which rodeo had the best cabaret whenever you decide to just let loose just a little bit?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one because it seemed like if you drew up right with the boys, you were always going to have a good time. I remember being out in Manitoba, Saskatchewan for the CCA rodeo. First time I'd ever went out there. And we went out a day early and went to the cabaret that night. That one got pretty freaking wild, man. The Saskatchewan hillbillies came out of the woodworks for that one. Man, you guys are kind of stumping me with a good beer gardens. Millerville Pro Rodeo a couple years ago. It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Writing on Stone. That one used to be freaking wild. Everybody down in that hot ass valley.
Cabaret down in the Hooters?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's sick.
I won't name names, but I watched a bulldogger throw a bull rider in headfirst into the generator that ran the bar, and it killed the Jenny. Jenny wouldn't work after that, so they were serving beer like a motherfucker, trying to get it out before it got too hot.
Yeah, warm beer the rest of the night.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know Riding on Stone had a rodeo. That's actually sick.
It's in the middle of nowhere, right?
Wow.
South?
Yeah, south.
Yeah.
Like south?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, south.
Yeah, way down there, Milk River.
Close to that
Go east.
It's not by Buffalo Jump.
Close to where?
So that's two separate things.
Yeah, no, Buffalo Jump is by Fort McLeod.
Oh.
And yeah, like you said, Paragon Stone is by Milk River.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always thought they were the same thing.
Milk River, go east.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's the worst rodeo you've ever been to?
Oh.
Here, how about you don't have to name the place, but like just like what made it so bad?
We recently went to one where they were heavily understaffed committee-wise, and there was literally 2 guys trying to sort fresh bulldogging steers, and it seemed like every time they switched to a new event, people were just standing there with their thumbs up their asses because there was just no help. And I actually really felt bad for this place because, a perf that starts at 7 and runs till almost 11 o'clock at night is not good. Like, that's really, really bad. So yeah, that was probably it. I won't name the name, but yeah, they were just heavily understaffed,
Yeah.
and people were struggling because they were having to be everywhere all the time, and cattle weren't ready. They weren't sorted in the alleyway and pushed up and whatnot, and you could see people were just basically surviving.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably won't be going back to that one next year or this year, eh?
I mean, hopefully they learn from this year and it'll be better next year.
They can have a focus group, and yeah, maybe they'll bring their game here next year. We'll see.
Hopefully, we'll see.
How are you getting? Yeah. How are you getting to rodeos? Like, what's your rig looking like right now?
Well, I am rigless. All I own is a 3rd gen 4Runner. So I'm very fortunate that my team roping partner, Oren, he's got a Dodge and a stock trailer. So we're looking pretty there. And then I'm surrounded by a couple boys that I got a really good group around me. We're going to be doing most of the traveling together this summer. So, and it works out good because Ace and Jordy come from Black Diamond, and they just come down the 7, pick me up. And then we hit on Stony Trail, pick Nick up. We go pick Oren up, and off we go. So I'm very lucky to be just in like a good flow of traffic of lots of people pulling through and pulling around. And then we do have some trucks and trailers here on the place that I use when they're not in use. So I can get myself in chancho places, but I get chauffeured around a lot, which is pretty dope.
Yeah. What's the dream rig?
These days, man, if you would ask me this like 10 years ago, it would have been way different. But these days, I honestly would love just like a brand new Ford, deleted and set up the right way. And then I would have just like either a nice 4-horse platinum bumper pull for running around. And then I think for like being able to go rodeoing and go traveling a little bit more and stay places, I'd have like a nice 4-horse, 10-foot short wall, living quarters done up nicely, and have bunks in there for the boys and good AC for them hot days, and a nice big beer fridge.
Yeah. Big beer fridge. Yeah. Well, so you're veering away from the old Dodges, eh? You're you Ford guy.
Well, here's the thing, boys, is when I'm not Cowboy Cole, and I work in the film industry and transportation. And so over the past couple of years, I've got to drive brand new, everything from a brand new Denali to like the new fucking international CVs or whatever the hell those are called, like new Fords, new Chevys. And out of everything that I've got to drive on these productions, the Fords have outworked everything. Like, they've been the nicest driving truck, the most power. Like, they have been phenomenal. So I've kind of just been steered towards, if somebody handed me 90 grand and was like, let's go rig you up in a truck, and I'd be like, fucking hey, I'll go drive them other ones just to see. But I'm pretty positive I'd go Ford.
For a diesel, can you get a power stroke for 90 grand? Because I know for like Dodge, you're like above 6 figures nowadays if you want a new diesel, eh?
You might have to give the sales guy a reach around to get it for 90, but
You might have to give him a little roadhead during the test drive.
Yeah, just a little something, something, get that price knocked down a little bit. Shit.
Just a little bit.
Well, Dab's a big Ford guy, so he's definitely eating that conversation up right here.
Yeah,
Those
that's pretty
comments,
good.
probably.
Yeah, exactly. You said you work in film, so like, do you work like like the Western shows in that area type of thing? Like, what are you doing with that?
Yeah, so I work in the transportation department. I am a part of the union, which is dope because I get to bid on jobs from the different productions coming in and out. So I got to work on that show Under the Banner of Heaven when it was in Calgary. I got to work on The Last of Us a little bit. They filmed a pilot. There was literally just called Western. I did a day on that. And then, have you guys seen Wind River?
I have, yeah.
So I just finished working on. They just shot Wind River 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
That was pretty
did you
sweet.
work on Billy the Kid?
Yeah. I actually
Yeah,
haven't worked on Kid. No, Joe Pickett a little bit, but I haven't been on Billy.
Yeah, I saw they're accepting, or they need a bunch of extras, so we were gonna email and see if we could get a little screen time.
Hell yeah, boy,
Although-
get in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what
That'd
I'm
be
thinking.
sick.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, we should really get on that.
All right. Sorry, that was a little tangent there. So is Chancho your one and only horse that you got going on, or do you have like a whole set like these barrel races where they have like 4 different horses and everything like that, or no?
I wish I had a string of horses kind of lined up. But no, all I got right now to heel on is Chancho. We got a couple other horses here at the place, but one's older and kind of crippled, and the other one still needs quite a bit of work. So Chancho is my main bullet for the summer, and I'm just kind of actively always looking and always. My header trains horses all the time, so he's got horses coming in and out. So yeah, I'm just kind of actively looking for something that can, even if I could find something to go jackpot on this summer, right, and then just save Chancho for the rodeos, but. We'll see. Horses are freaking expensive right now, and heel horses are kind of hard to come by right now. So just playing a waiting game.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, and when you're training horses for roping, is it all just repetition of doing the act of then kind of running out of the chute, or is there like certain activities that you're doing that actually increases their performance?
Depending what your end goal with them is, and like everybody's use for that animal is different. So I know like for myself, and I know Orange the same way, is he wants him broke riding around before he kind of goes to tracking dummy or tracking the lead steer. That way you have you can ask things out of them, and you can have them listening to you and in tune with what you're doing. So then when you go to start like push them towards a a trotter, a walker or something, or start pushing them towards a dummy, if they kind of want to throw a little bit of a fit and want to run up or something like that, at least you got somewhat control on them, and you can pull their head around and squeeze them back to it or whatnot. Or they just trust you enough and will kind of ease into it, right, and have a smell, and then you can really start going to them. So yeah, I know my process personally, and this is something I actually did with Chancho when I got down to New Mexico Junior College. Was my coach was very horse first, very well versed in horsemanship, and I learned a lot from him. So I actually took some steps back with Chancho and went back to the basics, and was able to actually get more out of him just by riding better, working on different things better. Like he was really big on doing barrel work and stuff like that, right? Getting them moving their shoulders and stepping over themselves and using their ass and shit like that. So yeah, if you want to get a good handle on one, and then start pushing that repetition of them a safe place that they can trust to go to every time on that steer, run to the hip, stay to the hip. That's your only job. And once they get that drilled in, then you can start, when I throw my rope, now I need you to kind of ease off, and you start doing that over and over again. And yeah, they start coming along nice.
Oh yeah. What are the easiest horses to turn into roping horses? Because my first guess would be like cow horse. Like it sounds like it'd be pretty easy to turn a horse that's like been trained in cow horse into a roping horse, but I don't know if that's actually the case.
Honestly, it really kind of just depends on the horse, I would say. Like especially when you start getting like reject cutters, reject reiners, stuff like that. Like those different disciplines, how they start their horses and how they train their horses. This is something Orrin and I have talked a lot because he'll get a lot of client horses that were ex reiners, were ex cutters. He almost has to take some buttons out of them. You know, they have too many buttons so that, you know, if you got to stand up over one and go reach and you might touch them in the shoulder, that some bitch is liable to just 180 on you and bump you, you know. So depending how far along they are in another discipline, bringing them over to the roping pen, you might have to kind of teach them how to use their body again, because you know Rainer's want real low headed, real collected. Well, I need you to kind of stretch out a little bit and run to one. So you gotta. It kind of just depends on the horse, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
That's
I
fair.
guess just like people, every horse has their quirks, probably, eh?
That too, 100%. Yeah, especially the good ones. The good ones will always have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Right to that one. So ropes, because you got the horse, right? For roping, you need a good horse and you need a good rope. So, what brand of rope do you generally run with?
I am a cactus ropes cowboy. I freaking love cactus. I've used them for a long time, and yeah, happy to be still using them today.
Does the color of the rope matter or portray what a person is?
Um, no, maybe. No.
See,
The reason Devin,
See, told you.
the reason
I do
Devin
believe
I
that you
told
should
you.
be able to rope with anything.
Then we went to get rope. He got a pink one, and I was chirping the hell out of him.
Well, I thought it was cool.
What are you, a fucking girl?
I thought it was cool.
If a guy rolls into the box with a pink rope, I will watch to see if he goes out and wheels one or absolutely hooks one, because then I'll be like, all right, cool beans.
All right. You earned the right to have the pink rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what color do you wrap?
Mine is like a burnty orange kind of color. I use the Cactus Peacemaker, and it's kind of an orange.
Okay. Nice.
Cool.
Those ones look good.
Yeah.
What
Pink's still his best
what I
one.
think does look cool. What I think does look cool for a team roper is how black are your coils. I think black coils make you look badass.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, this dude either can dally or he cares a lot.
It's either one or the other.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What if you had rainbow coils?
Well, then you just drink Bud Light.
That was a good one.
I don't even know if they make rainbow ropes.
Oh, rainbow coils.
Oh, coils.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe.
There used to be a play rope that was the rainbow rope.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, right on.
Right on.
All right. Dream rodeo to go to.
What was that?
A dream rodeo to go to.
Oh, well, now that Calgary Stampede has the team roping, that would be my dream rodeo.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet one to hit up.
That'd be sweet. All right. However, what would be the dream stadium to rope in, regardless if they have a rodeo or not right now? Like Staples Center or like Madison Square Gardens, or even just place. Like, I don't know. I thought it was cool how like Brooks like did like a rodeo in downtown Brooks. I thought that was sick. Or like something like that too, where like you're like middle down, like I don't know, Wall Street or something like that. That'd be sick.
Wall Street.
Dude, yeah, Madison Square Garden actually would be pretty legendary. I love those old photos of them old school Cowboys back in like 1949 and shit when they were having the national finals in New York and stuff. Like that would be so badass. Like I really wish we could make it fly to have a rodeo back out there in New York and Madison Square Gardens, because I think that would be legendary.
Well, I think I saw something that they are going to be bringing rodeos back to Madison Square Garden.
Did you? Where?
I thought we Googled it one time. Here, I'll see if I can bring it up quick.
Okay. So maybe your hopes and dreams might come to reality one day.
That would be pretty freaking
Hopefully.
badass. I would make the drive for sure.
Oh yeah. All right. So we talked about a bit earlier about like your social media and stuff, and you talked about how you got like what it is and stuff like that. But how did you get into it? How did you become the Cowboy Cole? And like, what was this backstory behind it?
Backstory kind of on becoming Cowboy Cole was, no matter what I was doing, I was always writing jokes about it, like just the shit that was going on around me, the funny things that people were saying, especially like working construction around all the old boys. Like you hear some wild shit, and so I always found myself just kind of writing jokes about it. I always wanted to try stand-up comedy, and so my early days of doing stand-up, I just went up there in what I call civilian clothing and tried to tell jokes. And then I kind of reached a point to where I was like, man, like, why am I not writing material and writing jokes about what I know best, which is being a cowboy and team roping and rodeo. Like, we do so many funny things in rodeo. We're very hypocritical people, and we step on our own toes. And I was like, man, I love everything that we do, and I can twist it and make it funny. So I just kind of started focusing on that, and I put out a couple comedy videos based around, like steer wrestlers and team ropers and calf ropers, a couple barrel racer ones, and then I just had a couple really pop off, and one ended up doing over 1 million views. Like my third or fourth video did like over 1 million views, and I was like, holy fuck, I think I should maybe lean into this and see where it goes, and here we are.
Yeah, right. Well, and like you have a pretty large social media following now. Like, what kind of cool opportunities have you been able to experience now because of it?
Oh man, like NFR 2021, I went down there just to kind of be down there and be around the scene, and it was pretty crazy when I was getting stopped and like asked for pictures and shit, and like people coming up and asking if I was Cowboy Cole and crap like that. And that was only like a year into kind of messing around, and I didn't really have a huge following then, and like getting recognized on the streets of Vegas was pretty wild. And then that year, actually, a friend of mine who lives in Vegas is good friends with Alexis Fox, and so she kind of, you boys know who that is?
That sounds very familiar, but I can't remember. Who is that?
Let's just a quick intermission. Let's
Should we know who that is?
let's hold up.
Just give her a quick Google.
Images.
I don't know if I've ever seen this girl before. Oh no, wait, I'm looking at sorry, no,
lady.
the person I was looking at on Instagram only had 351 followers, so that's definitely not the right person.
I feel I mean, we can just probably just ask this question straight up. Are you talking about a porn star for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's why it sounds familiar.
That's also why she's not coming up on just regular Google.
So yeah, this girl's good friends with Alexis Fox, and Alexis has like a coffee company, a beer company, a podcast and stuff like that. And she loves comedy. So this girl was just sending her some of my stuff and whatnot, and she really enjoyed it. So then when she found out I was in Vegas, she was having a keg tapping for one of her new beers, and I got to go to that deal. It was like a super intimate deal, just a handful of people there at this liquor store. Did a keg tapping, got to hang out like with her and all her friends and shit like that. Like that was wild, man. That was pretty freaking cool. So there's been some pretty cool stuff come out of it, and I've got to go to some pretty cool rodeos and meet some pretty cool people, talk to some pretty cool people. I sent one of my Hot Rodeo Mom shirt to James Washington. He plays on the Dallas Cowboys. Like, just wild shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, that's got to be it's got to be encouraging. It's got to be even more motivation to just keep doing it and try to get bigger and better almost, eh?
100%. Yeah, I feel like I've really found a niche, and especially doing what I'm doing in Canada. Like, I feel like Canada is kind of behind in terms of social media and the power that it can have to help, push athletes in the sport of rodeo and the Western culture forward and whatnot. So I feel like I'm kind of getting in at the right time because it's in a keep. I'm investing more than I ever have into it this year. This year, I'm really trying to like figure out the processes and figure out how this actually, pays the guy's bills and grows into something pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Well, and is TikTok your main focus then, or what's like the main social media platform that you probably put the most emphasis on?
I would say probably Instagram, probably mostly because that's just the app that I go to the most. Um, TikTok was wicked for rapid growth, and that kind of really pushed me out there really quickly. Instagram was slower to follow. But this year for 2023, I'm investing quite a bit into my merch line. I got some help on the back end that's going to help me get the merch really going. They're getting me a new website built, and I'm also really leaning into YouTube this year, especially with going back to the pro rodeos because I want to showcase um, like the personalized side of rodeoing. Because with Cowboy Channel, you see these guys perform all the time, the perfs and whatnot, and their nice fancy sponsored up shirts and everything like that. But there's a whole other world in the back pens where the lights aren't shining and you're changing a fucking tire at 2 a.m. and you need to hurry up because you still might not make it for the 8 a.m. slack. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole other side to rodeo that I want to show, that behind the scenes, that raw. Yeah, we won $150 in Dawson Creek, but guess what? It cost me $400 in fuel and hotel and entry fees to get up there to win that 150. Like, welcome to rodeo. Like, show that side of it, right?
Mhm.
Sounds like you need to hire like a camera crew to just follow you around everywhere.
100%.
Dude, that's I got my buddy, my videographer, Rattlesnake Mike. We're working on having him come with us to quite a few rodeos, and that's the other sweet thing about working these movies too, is like I meet a lot of really cool people and a lot of creatives who have the time and have the equipment and want to help other people bring some visions to life. So, I meet a lot of people that want to just be around and help out wherever they can, and they're going to help me film some more like Western comedy sketches and stuff this summer and shit. So like we're really turning up the volume.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
That's
that's wicked. Yeah.
have you have you thought about maybe like wearing like a chest cam and like while you're roping type of thing, try to get that angle before, or like what's like the craziest angle that you've thought of for like a video side of things?
A couple summers ago, I got a wicked shot of at my buddy Wyatt Erickson's place. They live just up the road. I got this badass. We set it up where I was in the arena with a GoPro and it was on a stick, and I was kind of crouched down, and we knew the steer, and they were literally gonna run out there and rope this thing. Well, they put it on in the chute, so they were gonna run out there, and then he was gonna bend that steer so that I would duck the rope, and then I could just track the steer right there, and Wyatt was going to heel him. And it turned out that his dad actually almost ran me over for whatever reason. He like kicked over, grabbed a coil, and his horse kind of like spooked over to the right, and like he almost run me over and clotheslined me.
Yeah, it's a risky game to get those really sweet shots.
Did you get the shot?
We got it, man. It was worth the risk because it turned out pretty wicked, and it was a good blooper too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
That's right.
That's sick.
The best shots come when you almost get your head taken off. That's for sure.
So
yeah, they are.
So we did some research, before this, and I noticed on your social media, one particular video that caught my eye, and my question is, how did you lose to a joust, like a rope joust, to a barrel racer? Like, what was your mindset that day? Like, were you just there not to win, or what?
My mindset was, don't jerk this poor girl on her face. I grew up with a sister, and I could just hear my mother in the background yelling, "Do not hurt her," And yeah, no, I straight up freaking lost that jousting match. And the worst part too is like, I've had some troubles with my shoulders before, just from some past wrecks and shit like that. So when I took that jerk, classic, I kind of stuck my arm out to break my fall, and then for like 2 weeks after, my shoulder was just fucking wrecked.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that'll
Though.
happen.
Yeah.
So I guess also speaking of stuff that we saw on social media as well, you were a pretty big help with CFR. Do you kind of want to like talk about your experiences from that?
Yeah, the past CFR was pretty gnarly. I wore a few hats. 2021 Cowboy Channel Canada, they brought me in to help make a behind the scenes TV show called Hellbent for Leather. So 2021, I was there for that. And then this year we did a 3-episode Hellbent for Leather TV show. I had my merch at the Boa K Ranch Boutique in the trade show. And then I was also cracking latches for all the time events too. So it was a great time. It was a busy time. You would think it would go by really fast for how much fun I was having, but it was, I don't know, felt like I got to live out each day pretty damn well.
Well, were you there for the whole week?
Yeah, I got up there Tuesday night.
Yeah, well, I mean, the days are extra long when you're staying up till 3 a.m. at Billy Bob's.
Yeah, there was a few nights of that, and then it was freaking 10 a.m. had to be at a production meeting, or 10 a.m. had to be in the back sorting steers.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh man, why are you looking so rough?" It's like I haven't slept.
Yeah, literally.
What's your because Billy's is gone now? What's your thoughts on Billy's? Do you think it's like an top tier bar or no?
Taking it right out now, aren't
Was.
they? I heard that that it's getting taken out and getting knocked down, and
Yeah.
they're putting a casino in there and shit.
Yeah, that's what's happening now. They're actually just recently there was a new country bar that opened in Red Deer though called the Silver Buckle.
Mm-hmm.
It just opened last week, so we haven't been there yet. But I guess that's supposed to be the replacement for Billy Bob's. But I don't know how you can just replace something that's been around for 40 years, right?
Well, yeah, man. Like the first year I made the FCA finals, I was 16 years old, having to sneak into that place. You know what I mean? Like back when if you won a round, that's where they gave out the go round buckles. I couldn't even get in there to get my go round buckle. Like, like that place has been around a long freaking time.
Yeah, geez. Well, was it lick and stick? Is that how you got in there then, or what was the game plan?
Oh, I just had a really good fake idea. I actually just told this story yesterday. The only time I ever got kicked out of a bar underage was in my hometown here in Cahoots, which is a 3-minute drive from my house. And I was using a guy that I worked for farming. I was using his son's ID, and him and I looked identical. He had a few years age on me, but like we were basically the same height, same hair color, same demeanors, everything like that. And so I've been in the bar, I was sitting with everybody. I've been in there like an hour, and these bouncers walk up and they're like, "We need to see your ID." So whatever, I pull out Dan's ID and I hand it to him, and then they just start grilling me. What's your address? What's your height? What's your weight? What's your hair color? And then he gets down to eye color. He's like, "What's your eye color?" I was like, "Brown." He was like, "Wrong. It's hazel." Grabs me by the collar, drags me out of in cahoots.
Hazel, man, that's Hazel's
wild.
brown. Doesn't that count as brown? Like
That's
what the?
brown.
Yeah, come on.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, sounds like
yeah,
that
so
guy's
that
just
was
on
the
a bit
only
of a
time.
power trip or something.
Frick, I don't remember talking to his girlfriend that night, but maybe I was. I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows? Or maybe you plowed his lady at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question that everybody is looking to get an answer to here, though, is do you actually love rodeo moms?
That, in fact, I do. I love them. I love making them, and sometimes they don't even need to be hot.
There you go. Perfect. There you heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Well, what was the Because when
We're about to ask for the inspiration. It's pretty simple.
well,
He
no,
just loves rodeo
not the
moms.
inspiration.
Oh.
It was like, what was the inspiration originally to get like a merch line going, and when did you get that started?
First time I dropped merch as Cowboy Cole was 2021 Calgary Stampede. My buddy Rattlesnake Mike took this dope photo. We were downtown. I was doing like trick ropes downtown, just getting some cool photos and shit like that. And I was standing in the middle of the street looking at the Calgary Tower, and he took this picture, which is the half back of my head and my shoulder with the Calgary Tower standing up in the background. And this was a time where I was really frustrated with just everything that was going on in terms of like the COVID bullshit, how people were treating each other. Like I said, I would be getting yelled at walking to a comedy club in downtown Calgary just for wearing a cowboy hat, you know? And so I was pretty frustrated with everybody being at each other's throats. And all I could think of was, you know, we got to bring back the cowboy. We got to bring back that attitude and that mentality of help your neighbor and be a good person and do the right thing when you can. And so yeah, I dropped a shirt that is that graphic of the Calgary Tower and half my cowboy hat in there. And but the core of the Calgary Tower part, I guess, or whatever, it says bring back the cowboy. And so I dropped that shirt in 2021 and sold a handful. Definitely not as many as I thought. Like I ended up going on like CBC News and shit for it when they found out about it. So I kind of had high hopes it was just going to fucking skyrocket and make me a ton of money, but it didn't. I learned a lot about merch inventory and how to buy shirts and shit like that. And then, yeah, because my content is more edgy and people kind of can rely on me to get that laugh, and you know I'll cross some lines to get the laugh and shit like that. I thought, you know what, I want to match my merch content to that and be you know, just put something out there that's fun and funny and but still nice and good quality. And so that's, I kind of figured it would be fun to show some support for the hot rodeo moms out there, because let's be real, they do make the rodeo world go around, man. Them hot
They
rodeo
do.
moms are on the ball.
Yep, they definitely do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I would say, like for myself personally, that was the one thing that I noticed first when I saw you on social media was the I love rodeo mom shirts, right? Like so yeah, I think it's definitely taken off and almost got a life of its own now, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's one of them items too that'll kind of forever sell, which I think so, at least, you know, in 10 years from now. I think it'll still definitely won't sell as much as, you know, probably they will once I really get them moving. But there's new kids coming up all the time that'll find it and love it. And I hope to just have it priced right so that they continue to sell. You know, in 10 years from now, we'll keep putting out better and better quality shirts and better graphics and all that good shit.
Well, I'm
And
sure
it's
you
a
probably
really
got.
good it's a
Go
really
ahead.
good conversation starter too.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
yesterday,
that is for sure.
I was walking into Jones Boys, and there were two representatives from Kimes Jeans that were up visiting, and that's what she noticed right off the bat was my shirt. So we just got bullshitting. I was wearing Kimes Jeans, which helped too, and gave them a couple stickers, and they ended up giving me a free hat. It was fucking dope.
Oh, right on. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm sure you probably got a bunch of other slogans that are brewing in your brain that will be that'll be ready for the next merch drop when you eventually do that, eh?
Hell yeah, we got I got two graphics that I'm getting put together right now that I'm gonna drop here probably within the next month and a half. And then yeah, I got a couple pretty edgy shit that I think I'm just gonna have to let sneak through the cracks and just kind of not run it past the team. You know what I mean? I'll just kind of get it done and throw it there.
Yeah. Don't run it by the board. Just put it out there, and yeah.
I would
Ask
think
for forgiveness later.
Exactly. Yeah.
one thing that I really remember from like your shirt or your brand that I've seen before is, I'm going to shout him out because he already knows what I'm talking about. But I remember seeing, do you know Jace Thornston of JWT Hats?
Oh yeah.
So I remember going on TikTok one morning and I'm scrolling through TikTok, whatever. It's a Sunday morning, a little bit hungover.
I think this was during CFR as well.
It was during CFR, and you just see. Then I just pull up to this video, and all you see is Jace, pretty drunk, not gonna lie, on the dance floor in Billy's, ripping open his shirt. The I Love Hot Rodeo mom dancing on a table. I thought that was pretty funny. And it's good advertising for me as well.
Anytime somebody wants to get up on a bar and rip their pineapple, show my shirt, I am a huge supporter of that.
Yeah.
But awesome.
No, right on.
So, what's your, I guess, kind of a couple nice closing here questions. What's your advice to people that want to start doing social media and stuff like that? Like, what's your number one piece of advice to someone?
My number one piece of advice is make content that you enjoy, because that's literally basically what I do. I joke that I laugh at, my friends laugh at, and that keeps the fun in it. You know, like I know I catch shit for some people who think that I should be hopping on all these trends and, or you should do a video like this and you should use this song and blah blah blah. And I'm not a fucking TikTok dancer. I'm not a green screener. You know what I mean? I like to put out raw stuff that's relatable and funny. And so yeah, make content that you enjoy and your friends enjoy, because other people will enjoy it as well. And if you really want to get into it and get serious about it, make sure you're niching down. Like I think about that all the time. You know, I'm a cowboy, but you know, you got to niche down from that. You know, I'm a cowboy with team ropes. Okay, you got to niche down from that, and just really kind of find that groove that makes you different. And a lot of times it's that weird quirk that we all have. You know, lean into that. Don't be afraid to be a little bit vulnerable, because it's going to be silly, it's going to be goofy, but you can get over. Feel kind of down about putting yourself out like that. It gets really fun.
No, wise words.
Wise words.
All right, perfect. Okay, we have one last question. We asked this to all of our guests. Most important question: what's your favorite beer?
Oh man, I'm gonna say Soul.
Soul. Okay. I've actually never had that
I love me
before.
a good Mexican beer.
Yeah.
Way better than Corona.
Yeah.
Don't get Corona. You gotta get Soul.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of been drinking the Pilsners for a couple of years. That's kind of been my go-to.
Oh, I noticed the old rabbit can hanging out. And a twisted
old
tea there too.
diesel.
That
All
is
right,
an old
on.
college house there.
Sorry?
I said that is an old college house right there. Pilsner and twisted
Oh, it
teas.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is me.
Yeah.
Twisted Teas and Pilsner. That's old college for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
And a 2-4 of rum in the, above the counter when it gets a little late.
Yeah,
Of
that's right.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
You know what? Sometimes you gotta switch to whiskey when you've been drinking beer all night. As wise word from Core Blonde.
Yep. Very wise words.
Right.
Are you boys going to come to some rodeos this summer, or what's the deal?
Yeah,
that's
the
a plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Is there any specific ones that we should hit up?
Yeah, what's your advice on that?
Yeah, which one do you?
Yeah, 100%. You guys need to come to Innisvale for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Panoka.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, gotta hit up Panoka.
Panoka's a good one. We go to Sundry because that's like
Yeah.
right near here, and we have a lot of good friends in Sundry, so we make a weekend out of that. So that's the one that we usually go to.
Old Stoberfest.
Old Stoberfest, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fun one. That one's too much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I haven't gone to Innisfail yet. Maybe Bowden too. We should probably go to Bowden as well. Bowden.
Yeah.
It's a good rodeo. So, but the Danes one.
Yeah, you guys
definitely should go to the Danes.
You guys got quite a few that are pretty close to you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, there's what is it every weekend? There's like at least 3 rodeos going on, so usually you can find one that's fairly close, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Well, are you going to be releasing your summer tour in a sense? All the rodeos you're going to be hitting up?
Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to put them out. Just kind of as we get entered and get drawn up. The nice thing is we know like 2-3 weeks out for a lot of rodeos, so I'm just gonna kind of trying to be building graphics and putting posts out all the time with updated days that we're up and where we're gonna be and when, and everybody in tune with what's going on. Try and run as people as we go to all these rodeos. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, no, may as well try to get as much people out as you can, right?
yeah.
A little marketing doesn't help or it doesn't hurt because I feel like most of these rodeos they really don't do much for marketing other than the little sign that they have by
the Facebook post.
Yeah, the Facebook post, a little sign by their the town sign that says, "Oh, annual rodeo every year this weekend."
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, everybody who's listened to this, stay tuned for those for the tour dates, I guess. But thanks for coming on, Cole. This has been awesome. And yeah, you got any other closing thoughts here, Deb?
No, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Do you want to shout out your socials one last time, maybe before just for everybody who isn't following you already?
100%. You guys can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Cowboi_Cole. Cowboy spelled with an I. And then the YouTube channel is just Cowboy Cole, Cowboy with an I. And yeah, we're going to be putting a lot more long form content and just our rodeo travel behind the scenes on the YouTube, and then a bunch of shorts and whatnot on the IG and kind of the day-to-day shit on IG. So follow along.
Perfect. All right. Everybody go give that a follow. And thanks again, man.
Yeah, thank you, boys. We'll see you down the trail.
Thank you again, Cole, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks. It was really fun chatting with
Be
you.
sure to check out all this stuff on social media and say hi to him when he's on the circuit.
That's right.
He has some
Okay,
pretty funny
Devin.
jokes.
Oh yeah.
I was listening to that podcast. I was chuckling some stuff. It was just raw. It was raw. It was nice. It was fun.
There you go.
Mhm.
Perfect. Anyways, Devin, you're telling me that you were just a complete piece of shit today and you watched 2.5 movies.
You pulled a me this weekend by taking charge on the podcast. Then I pulled a you today. Because in the past,
Devin,
Mason has said,
I'm looking around the house right now and I realize that you haven't done any of your chores. So I'm a little disappointed in you right now.
I was talking, yeah. So that means I was a piece of shit like you are sometimes.
I'm usually a little productive.
I watched,
kind of.
I was like Mason, and I watched 2 movies today, 2 full movies.
I think you said 2.5.
Yeah, but I can't like give a review on the half.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, what movies did you watch, Deb?
So I did a little bit of a throwback one. So the first one was Cars 2.
Okay.
So here's the thing, though.
Do not have the pistachio ice cream.
Yeah.
It has turned.
But like, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I watched it.
Why?
Because on TikTok, my TikTok feed is full of old movies.
Cars 2 is not that old of a movie, Devin.
Well, our age movies.
Okay.
The cartoon Pixar ones.
Okay.
Just because of then I'll watch them, but then you have to watch them in like 1-minute segments or
Yeah, and you got to watch like 100 different parts. And it's like, okay, I may as well just watch the movie.
So that's what I did today.
Okay.
And out of all the Cars movies, I hate to say it, I think it's the worst one out of the 3.
So the weird thing about it is it just takes like a crazy turn on what the Cars movies kind of are about.
Yeah.
So the first one was about,
I would say the first
of...
one was the best.
Oh, yeah.
The third one was next. And this one was just like, you really think about it, it just is totally off script.
So to be honest, I would put the number, I would have them ranked in the same order they came out, to be honest.
Okay.
I think 1 was the best. I think second is second, and third is third. Third, the story was good. Don't get me wrong, but
like
it was kind of a
It
cliche, and it was.
Yeah, but
at least in the second one, it was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is awesome. Right? Like,
yeah, but
why is Vader a spy? This makes 0 sense.
Well, it was kind of, I say it was pretty cool how they focused less on Lightning McQueen. It was more on Vader.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it was just completely off script.
Oh, 100%. But
Yeah.
actually, I haven't watched that one forever.
Yeah, it was good.
Could be a good one.
And then the next one I watched, I had to re-look up the title. It was called Safety. Have you ever watched this one before?
No, what's it
This
about?
one, fucking tearjerker, man.
Oh,
This one?
that kind of movie day.
So it's based on the story of this Clemson football player who, in his second year playing, would have to take in his brother. Like he came from an unstable home. I think his mom was a drug addict and stuff like that. It's based on a true story.
Okay.
And I didn't do my research. So I actually don't know the full true story, but yeah. And then like he has to like hide his brother in the dorms for a couple months or something like that. And he has NCAA infractions and talks about how the team came together and NCAA gave him like a special kind of treatments and he could get financial like help and relief and stuff like that because he ended up getting custody of his brother from his mom.
Okay.
So I was talking about
how old is his brother?
It was like at the time when it happened, like 10 to 12 or
so.
so.
Okay, yeah. So just a little guy.
Yeah, like he was little, and it just talked about how he was a student athlete and a father at the same, and father due to unforeseen circumstances.
Okay.
It was a tearjerker.
A football movie that I haven't watched that I really want to. I don't even know where I would watch it if it's on Netflix or not. Draft Day, Kevin Costner.
Oh, that one's good. I've watched that one many times.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah. What's the most goated football movie?
Definitely. Shit. What's it called?
I would say either Draft Day or Blindside.
No, both of those are incorrect. What's the one with Adam Sandler?
Oh, that one.
Well, what's it called?
Where he plays like the kid that's
when he goes to prison and he plays in the prison, like he's the prison they start up a team in prison.
Yeah,
and they play the sheriffs, and it has a huge bunch of big name actors in it. What's it called again?
I forget.
This is gonna.
You know, it's also another good one. Have you ever watched the Gridiron? It's the one with The Rock in it.
Oh, I think I watched that one.
Where it's an actual like the prison, like the juvie prison or whatever, actually made like a football team and they participated like in the California League.
Yep, I think I've watched that. Yeah,
I can't say I've ever watched like a bad based on true story.
Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard.
That's what it's called.
I don't think I've ever watched like a bad football based on true story movie or just football movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, even like Remember the Titans is another good one.
There's
a lot of good football movies.
Yeah, there is.
There's probably even a couple that we're not even thinking of right now that people are going to be like, "What about this one?"
Yeah. Well, let us know.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, that's our episode for today.
Yep. Thanks for listening, y'all.
If you're still out in the fields and you're still in the tractor, good luck to you for the rest of the season, and be safe.
That's right. Stay tuned for next week.
Yeah, stay tuned.